Hello, this is Sara Astro, welcoming you to your own channel, Sara AstroTarot. How have you all been? I hope you've had a wonderful time wherever you are at this point of time. I wanted to introduce you today's video. I'll be speaking on Jayestha Nakshatra, especially Venus in Jayestha, because that's the position of the planet which my client has. And I hope you enjoy the session. I hope you enjoy the reading. So dear star seeds, enjoy and do give me your comments. Do like my channel and do also share with like-minded people so that they can also benefit the beauty of the universe and the constellations. So I'm going to see you at the beginning of the reading, and all the best. See you. Bye. So we're going to speak on the nakshatra Jayestha, and Jayestha Nakshatra is the controller or the powerful nakshatra which is controlling your Venus. You're in Venus Mahadasha, which began in 2014, is going to rule you till 2034. So it's got the complete flavor, the complete, what should I say, the jurisdiction and the complete established, authentic flavor it's having of Jayestha Nakshatra, right? So Jayestha Nakshatra, now you have your Venus in Scorpio, and Jayestha happens in the zodiac sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio, in the Milky Way, when you see, it's a 30-degree long belt, right? And in 30-degree long belt, there are 3 nakshatras which form the sign Scorpio. And first nakshatra is Vishakha, then is 3 degree 20 minutes, and then is Anuradha, 13 degree 20 minutes, and then the last of the nakshatra here is Jayestha, 13 degree 20 minutes. So when you calculate all of these, we get a 30-degree belt, which is of Scorpio, okay? And the nakshatra padas, which are here in this nakshatra, are Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, right? And the ruling planet here is Mercury. Now you're also going to get a collaborated result of the planet Mercury, right? Because the ruling planet of Jayestha is Mercury. And Ketu is also important here because Ketu gets its highest exaltation point here in this nakshatra, and Rahu gets debilitated. Now your Antardasha Lord is Rahu, right? So that goes in deep debilitation in Jayestha Nakshatra, and Ketu receives its highest exaltation point. And the motivation of Jayestha Nakshatra is Artha. Artha means it speaks of the material acquisitions, it speaks about your earthly desires. You know, when somebody says, I want to get married, I want to get more money, these are all very material and earthy desires. So the motivation of this nakshatra is very earthy, and it's very artha oriented, which is about finance, it's about money, it's about family, but the motivation is not spiritual, okay?
Yes. Yeah.
And the Ayurvedic dosha, which is associated, is Vata. Vata means air. Vata means wind. Further on in your analysis, we'll also understand that what kind of trouble the person could feel. Because, you know, Kapha, Vata is there. So if there is imbalance in the doshas, if in the Ayurvedic way there are imbalances, then it causes trouble in the body. And the Gana is Rakshasa, demon. Nothing to worry about it. It simply means that the earthly or the desires become very high. We're not trying to say that the person becomes demonic. No, not like that. And the orientation of this nakshatra is Triangamukha. Triangamukha means it is to look ahead. It is to move ahead, right? It's in the forward direction. So that's very lovely. And also the quality is Tikshna. Now this is a nakshatra which is not a very soft nakshatra. Like Pushya Nakshatra, it's a Mridhu Nakshatra, Rohini. But this is, Jyeshtha is a very fierce nakshatra. It's a very powerful, very sharp, very dreadful, and it's very fierce. It's not soft in nature, right? And the Shakti of this nakshatra is Arohana Shakti. Now, if we would want to understand that what is Arohana Shakti, it is to rise above one's perils. It is to conquer, and it is to gain courage, and it is to overcome the perils, right? To go beyond the things which could sabotage you, and it is to fight them, it is to conquer them, and it is to move ahead, right? And these are just the preliminary things which we understand about Jyeshtha. Now let's understand what does Jyeshtha mean. Where is the word coming from? It's coming from the word Jayestha, which means the senior, the senior-most, right? And which means the elder sister, it means the senior-most, and it also means the village body, and it also means the holy river Ganges, right? And it's also most excellent in the world. And what happens is that Jyeshtha also means being victorious. And whether the victory comes by conquest, or it comes by possession, or it comes by force, but the Jyeshtha wants victory, you know? And it's also wanting to be very virtuous, right? And also the Jyeshtha is very liberal with its reward-giving qualities. And it's also very protective. Now we'll understand more about the rewards, we'll understand more about the conquests here, we'll understand more about the protectiveness, that how is the Jyeshtha protected, right? So now, very importantly, the deity Lord associated with Jyeshtha is Lord Indra. And the goddess, the female goddess associated with Jyeshtha is Ma Alakshmi. Now, when the cosmic churning was happening, first the Jyeshtha comes. The Jyeshtha, like I told you, is the elder sister. So she's the elder sister of Ma Lakshmi. So first Ma Alakshmi comes, and then comes Ma Lakshmi, right? So Ma Alakshmi is the goddess of disillusionment and disillusion and breaking away. She's also the goddess of the death, and she breaks away all the illusion-nets, okay? So not to be, don't take it in the negative, because death is not the usual way of dying, the bodily dying. It's very metaphysical. It is that whenever the old stages end, and whenever the old associations end, and only after they end, the new cycles and the new birth, the new regression can happen, right? So Ma Alakshmi is very much in association along with Lord Indra, right? And who's Lord Indra? Now basically he is the remover of the gridlock of the battles. Now in our everyday life, we are going through battles and we are fighting on a daily basis, right? So the remover of the gridlocks. Now when you gave me the horoscope for reading, like this is your horoscope on a closer spectrum. So in the horoscope, this is like a hologram, okay? This is like a holographic grid. And in the holographic grid, whatever are the obstacles which we have to overcome, and whatever are our fears, our perils, our dangers, so the breaker or the remover of the grid blocks is Lord Indra, right? So he's so powerful. And Lord Indra is also in the Artha Veda. When we read, the Artha Veda is a book of spells. And it's mentioned that Lord Indra is a light worker, like, what do you call me? I'm a light worker. So he is the kings of the kings. He's the Deva of the Devas, the God of the gods. So he's the light worker, he's the light weaver, and he's also controlling our unconscious behavioral patterns. Like whatever patterns are set, like we behave in a certain way and we speak in a certain way, these are all retained in our memory, isn't it? Our subconscious self. So all that unconscious behavioral patterns and all the vasanas and the samskaras, all these patterns are etched in the subconscious mind, and they are very much controlled. Your subconscious mind is very much controlled by Lord Indra. In fact, everybody's subconscious mind, right? And Lord Indra is also called Indra Virya, right? Indra Virya. So what happens is that somebody who can control their mind and somebody who's got control in the multi-dimensional space and the waves and is called the Indra Virya, right? And Lord Indra is also, now we spoke about the protective qualities. He's very protective about Mother Earth. He's very interested about nature. Like we speak of global warming, we speak of erosion of the soil, we speak of contamination of the water. So the very energy which is present here, like the preserving quality of Mother Nature, is very much there in the Jayestha, which is in Lord Indra. And he's also very protective of the cows. Now, we'll understand this here. Just a second. So now, cows, because in olden times, it was very, very, the person who is a king, who's very prosperous, he's very abundant, he is known by the quantity of cows which they had, isn't it? So Lord Indra's cows were once stolen by a few asuras called Panis, and he sent his faithful dog Sarama to find these cows. So Sarama, she swims across the river bank and she finds that they were taken hostage by this group of asuras. And then she comes back and informs Lord Indra, and he fights back. He fights the asuras to get his cows back. And who's Sarama? It's very interesting. When we see Lord Yama, the god of death, whenever we see him, he's got two black dogs on his either sides. And she's the mother of those two dogs, right? So, and these cows, in Sanskrit, we call them Gaya. They come from the word Gaya. Now, it's so beautiful here that Gaya, the cows, we talk in the Milky Way, we call galaxy. So it comes from the word Gaya. And the Milky Way suggests the white color. The cows have the white color and they yield milk. So that's how the galaxy comes in form. And Lord Indra is the owner of the Milky Way, right? And also, we spoke that Lord Indra is also known as Indriya Virya. You know, the vital forces like fortitude, being audacious, and having an overpowering mindset, having physical vigor. So the challenges which we face in our everyday life, to neutralize them, to control them, to have a way beyond them, is the quality which Lord Indra has, right? And whenever in our life we face challenges, this quality of Indra Virya sets in, right? And Indra is not an individual when we speak about. Suppose in a country, a prime minister takes oath, and a prime minister comes as a ruler and he adorns the throne. So the throne is the seat of the power. So that's what is Indra. Indra is not a person. Indra is the power. Indra is the position, the authority, which is there in the Jayestha native, right? So when we're discussing the nakshatra, we're definitely speaking about the qualities which you are experiencing since 2014 till 2034, right? Because your pattern is entirely on the Jayestha way, correct?
Yeah.
So what happens is that Lord Indra, since he's about the position, he's about the authoritativeness, he's about the throne. So whenever somebody tries to reach at his level, at his position, he lures them. He lures them. How does he lure them? Whatever, suppose you say you're reaching this position in your company, which is a very high position, and while you're reaching it, suddenly he's going to send you things to entice you, so that your complete focus gets deviated. So for a woman, he's going to send a man or multiple men, and he could send his Lord Indra is very famous for Soma, so he could send in drinks, like free drinks, ladies' nights, or people who will want to sponsor you, and he's send money, or he'll send like wine, women. So you can interpret, if you're a woman, what he's going to send to you, because he wants to take away the focus, the vital focus that you have, because the Jyeshtha has the propensity to reach the pinnacle, to reach the highest points, right? So to sabotage or to spoil that whole generation, wherein you're elevating in your status, you could experience, all these vices being sent to you. And now, if we understand that, how do I explain you more on this? Okay, so now Lord Indra also fights a dragon, Vitrasur. Okay, now there's the story about deceit also in Jyeshtha, which I'll speak slightly ahead, but he slays Vitrasur. And if we understand Vitrasura, so we understand that this means larger than life, which means that the desires which are insatiable, which are unsurmountable, which are very, which are continuously happening. One desire gets fulfilled, the other takes place, then the other. So this insatiable, larger than life desires are compared with Vitrasur, the Asura, which Lord Indra slays, right? So, and the anthem of JYESTHA Nakshatra is that I am the best. I am better than you. So this urge is always there in the Jyeshtha's heart, that I know it all and I'm the best. So it's very nice to feel that you're virtuous and you're capable, but it's also wonderful if you do not think that the people around are lower. To work with that quality, that mindset is not very positive. So you could work more in unison, because when people reach the power, the throne, they're often lonely. Because there are many opponents, many jealousies, many conspiracies, and many things which could manipulate, sabotage their position. So it makes them very vulnerable. It makes them very lonely. It makes them very alone, right? Because they are always suspecting that, like Lord Indra, he's always, you must have seen in the epics that he's always very scared that I might lose my coveted throne, I might lose my power, my position. So that fear is always there, right?
Yeah.
And Lord Indra, now if you understand that, which is the part of the direction which I should pray if I have to please Lord Indra, because he's the deity Lord here in Jyeshtha. So his direction is east, and he is one of the Ashta Digbalas. There are 8 Digbalas, and he is one of them, and he rules over the east direction. So you can have a small picture of Lord Indra and you can keep it in the east of wherever you're living, and you can offer prayers by offering fresh flowers. You could light a incense and light a diya, right? And he's always known for his thunderbolt, and his wife is goddess Sachi. And in the ancient scriptures, like now, let's understand a little interesting thing about Lord Indra, because he's your deity Lord and you're very much going to behave like him only. So in fact, all the Jyeshthas will be behaving like it's Lord. Now, right opposite Jyeshtha Nakshatra is Rohini Nakshatra. Now you have Scorpio, Jyeshtha and Scorpio, and 180-degree opposite it is Taurus sign, right? Taurus sign and Rohini Nakshatra, if we may so understand. And what happens is that now your 8th house will influence your 2nd house, right? 2nd house is of family, it's of wealth, and 8th house is the house of secrecy, occult sciences, mysticism. It's about other people's money. It's about your gratuity, your bonus, your insurance, and your unearned wealth, also inheritance, right? So through the 8th house, it's looking at the 2nd house. So that's why we must consider now your Venus has no aspect of no other planet, but definitely it has the flavor of the 2nd house in amalgamation with the 8th house, right? And about Lord Indra, let's understand few things here, because now Venus is what? Venus is your propensity to form relationships. Venus is love. Venus is beauty. She's grace. She's all the women in your life. And she's Aphrodite, goddess Aphrodite. And she's all about opulence, grandeur, beauty. And she's, what should I say? Should I say she's larger than life? Could be. But you know, beyond what you understand, beyond the body, beyond the beauty of the body, she's beauty of the soul. She's love. Now, love has nothing to do with the body, but love is with the soul. So that's why truest form of spirituality is seen through the planet Venus. And why we discuss Venus in Jyeshtha is that this is the kind of love which you will be attracting, right? This is the kind of love which you will receive, which you will probably want to give, or you will attract. And since we are discussing here Lord Indra, so this could be the way your Venus is wanting to give you what it wants to give you, right? And Lord Indra is Sahasra Yoni. Sahasra Yoni means that his body had 1,000 vulvas, 1,000 reproductive organs